Namaste to all. In the past, I have made several videos to prove that the present Advaita Neo Vedanta do not tally with the Vedas. But still, many people have been raising questions on this and was asking about Prakriti. Where is the definition of Prakriti in the Vedas? And where it is said that there are three eternal entities. Actually, Vedas are very deep and secret. We have to understand Vedas by listening it from an Acharya who has attained Samadhi. So when we listen Vedas from an Acharya, we will be able to understand these inner secrets of Vedas. Mere argument like that Arya Samaj Vinashak channel was doing, mere argument or mere abusing others will never give us any knowledge, will never give us any benefit. When you are abusing somebody, when you are in anger, you can never explain what you want to explain. You can never come to an understanding of the knowledge within yourself. If you are not able to understand the knowledge by yourself, you can never able to convey it to others. So first let's understand the Nasadiya Suktam, second mantra from Rigveda 10th Mandal, that is 129th Sukta. So in this Sukta, the mantra is like this. Namrityurasi dhamritam natarhi naratraya ahana asit praketah anidavatam swadaya tadekam tasmadhan yana parah kinchana sa. So here we have to understand Namrityu asid amritam. So my Acharya ji beautifully explains in the website vedamandir.com this mantra. The death did not exist during that period of final destruction. This is the time of Pralaya. God is explaining the time of Pralaya. During the time of final destruction, death did not exist. Tarhi means therefore, at that point of time, Amritam, the salvation also did not exist. The idea is that when the death was not there, it means the birth also was not there. And therefore, the human being was neither taking birth nor dying. Then who would try to get the knowledge and from where somebody can get salvation? That's why Amritam also did not exist at that point of time. Then Ratraya Ahanaha Praketaha, the knowledge. Ratraya means night. Ahanaha means day. Na Asit did not exist. That means the knowledge of day and night, like which was existing in the previous creation, at the time of Pralaya, at the time of destruction of the universe, the knowledge of day and night did not exist. So that point of time, Tat Ekam Avatam Anit. Anit means the Chetan Tattva. Tat, then Ekam, one matter alone. Avatam means which did not require, which do not require an air to survive, which do not breathe air. Swadaya existed independently. So the idea is that at that point of time when there was nothing, then only one alive matter which did not require air or food to survive existed independently, and that independent matter is Almighty God. The mantra also says Tasmat Anyat Kimchana Para Na Asa. That means apart from this Almighty God, no other thing existed at that point of time. This is the mantra number 2. Why I said this mantra is to give an indication to all of us, all of you, that Almighty God existed when the Pralaya stage was there. Now the mantra number 3, we have to really carefully understand. A deep secret is mentioned in the mantra number 3, which is missed by 99.99% of the people. Tama asi tamasa gudham agre apraketam salilam sarvama idam tucca yena bhava pihitam yadasit tapasas tan mahina jayatekam. So here we have to understand the presence of Prakriti in this mantra. God speaks about Prakriti in this mantra, but not very openly, but still we can easily understand when we understand the Sandhi Viched. So God says in this mantra, Tama Asit. Tama means darkness existed. So that darkness, how was it? Agre means before the creation. What happened is Tama Asit Tamasa Gudam. there was a darkness, only darkness, and this darkness was so deep. Means why God is mentioning so much of weightage to darkness is to make us understand scientifically. At that point of time, there was complete darkness and there was no movement. There was no movement of any particle. That means when there is no movement of any particle, that means it is a state of absolute zero. That means 0 Kelvin. The temperature was absolute zero. Whereas the modern science speaks about Big Bang theory, where the temperature is infinite inside one point of time. There was a point, and that point, the temperature is infinity, is what modern science says. Whereas God says, that point of time, it was absolute zero, absolute darkness, no movement. And God further says, Salilam Sarvama Idam. Idam means this universe was completely non-existent at that point of time. It was absolute darkness. And Salilam means it was misty and it was beyond comprehension and beyond understanding. That means a normal human brain, human mind cannot understand that situation. That is what God is trying to mention here. And also God says, Tucha yena bhava pihitam. Tucha means something which is lesser. Almighty God is supreme. Tucha means less than that supreme. Yen abu abhava pihitam. Abu apihitam. Abu existed. So that point of time there was something called as Abu. That Abu is what we call as Prakriti in normal terms for all of us to understand. So God mentions here that there was another matter which is an eternal matter, atomic matter, Prakriti, which is called as Abu, which is Tucha, which is Jada, which is non-alive, and which is less than the Almighty God. Almighty God is supreme. Below the Almighty God is this matter called as Abu. Apihitam means which we cannot understand. Nobody can know that matter, because at that point of time nobody existed. So Apihita means that which cannot be known. Asit, that point of time, Abu Asit. That means that Abu existed. This is what God says. So when the universe did not exist, God existed and Prakriti also existed. And when we understand, God further says, Tan Mahina Jayatekam Tapasa. With the power of Almighty God. Tapasa means God does the tapasya here. That means God is giving the power. With the power of Almighty God, Tan Mahina, the eternal matter which is Abu, gets converted into Mahina, means Mahat Tattva, the intellect or the Buddhi Tattva gets created out of Prakriti. That is the first transformation of Prakriti into this universe formation. That is the first formation in this universe, which is called as Mahat Tattva. Then Ajayat Ekam. After that, Ajayat means the universe gets its birth from the Prakriti. That's why this universe has the quality of Prakriti. The Prakriti has the quality of action. The Prakriti has the quality of inaction, that is a reaction. And the Prakriti also has the quality of being. So in this universe we see Rajagun, Tamagun, Satagun. Kam, Krodh, Madlobh, Ahankar is coming from the quality of the Prakriti. Kam, Krodh, Madlobh, Ahankar is not the quality of Almighty God. And Kam, Krodh, Madlobh, Ahankar is because of the existence of Prakriti and the souls which existed at that point of time. They get attracted towards Prakriti, so the soul assume themselves to be in Kam, Krodh, Madlobh, Ahankar, whereas the soul is purest entity like Almighty God. And God mentioned in the previous mantra, please recollect the previous mantra, God says, God does not require air or food to survive. Who require air or food to survive? We require. We means the human body needs air and food. The soul is within the human body. So God does not need all those things. God creates the air, God creates the food, God creates this universe for the benefit of the souls. This proves that the souls existed. In fact, the fifth mantra of the same sukta speaks about Almighty God is the Lord. He is the Malik of all the souls. He is the Malik of this entire universe, which is made out of Prakriti. So we have to very carefully listen Vedas from an Acharya. Otherwise, we will get into this Advaita philosophy, which is not philosophy, which is totally absurd concept. And Adi Shankaracharya, being a very eminent scholar of Vedas, would have never propounded such a theory. Basically, after his death only this Advaita and all got popularized. Whereas Adi Shankaracharya tried his level best to bring back the Vedic culture. And in fact, he was killed by his close associates who were doing drama of his disciple. So that has to be clearly understood from when we read Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati's Satyartha Prakash, we can understand that. So we have to always give full weightage and deeply think over the scientific principles of universe creation. God says about absolute zero, God says about no movement. So this Prakriti is in a state where it is not moving, it is not acting, it is not creating the universe. When God powers tapasa, when the God powers acts on the Prakriti, then the universe creation starts. That is how we see the movement in this universe. We see the movement of electron, proton, all these atomic particles because of the energy given by Almighty God to the Prakriti. And at the Pralaya stage, this energy goes back to Almighty God, and the Prakriti, this universe will go back to the same Abu stage, the Prakriti stage. Thank you so much. Namaste. Om.